For today's lesson, we're going to be talking about where numbers can be found. If you look here, I've got what I want you to learn by the end of this video. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to learn how numbers can actually be used. We're also going to talk a little bit about your actual telephone number and figure out what the different parts of your telephone number mean. And then the last thing is we're going to practice some number writing to wrap things up today. To get started, let's go ahead and get our brains warmed up for some math. So it says here that we're going to do some whisper shouting and counting. I want you to do this in your head as you watch the video. What you're going to do is the red numbers are going to be the numbers that we're actually going to shout in our head. The numbers that are in black will be the numbers that you whisper in your head. So do this as you follow along. Do it in your head. I'm going to do it out loud, but I want you to try and do it with me. Okay? So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good job. So that is actually all of those red numbers are counts by twos. So let's just try this now. I want you to say it in your head with me. I'm just going to do just the red numbers that are on here. So we're not going to do the black numbers. So it would go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So again, that's skip counting by twos, and that was just to get our brains all warmed up. The next part of this is I want you to think in your head, where have you seen some numbers? Think about our classroom. Think about your house. Think about when you're driving in your car to and from school or maybe to the store. Think about where have you seen numbers, and think about that. I'm going to there's some pictures that I have hidden behind this yellow box, and I want you to think in your head how many of these pictures that I have behind the yellow box are ones that you thought about. So just take a few seconds here and think about where did you see some numbers at. Alright, so I know I didn't give you a lot of time to think, but hopefully you were able to come up with at least one or two different places that you've seen numbers. So this yellow box is covering up some of them. Let me give you some examples. So here you can see, let me get rid of this yellow box here. Here you can see that dice, which we've used before in class. Dice are a way that we use numbers. A calculator is another way that we've used numbers. Something that's in our class, you probably have them at home as well, is a clock. Next time that your parents take you in the car and you have to stop and get gas, there's numbers that tell your parents how much the gas actually costs. When you're at the store at Walmart, you can look and see what are the prices. So if you wanted a soda or you wanted a candy bar, or maybe you're there to get some new clothes, there's always going to be a price that tells you. Same thing with a fast food restaurant. Let's say you go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal. There are numbers that tell you how much you have to pay. Those of you that like to play or watch TV, I guess, or watch a movie, even if you like to play your iPad or a computer, there's numbers all over those that we have to use in order to maybe solve problems or play some of your games. Another example would be the temperature. If we need to know if we need to wear hats and gloves, we can look at a thermometer, and that thermometer gives us numbers. So you might not realize it, but there are numbers everywhere around you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is the other places that you can find them, as well as specifically we're going to talk about your phone number. So what I mean by talking about your phone number is here is an example of what a phone number looks like. So what I have here, I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger so you can see a little bit better. What I have here is I have the actual school's telephone number here at Penn Elementary. You can see it says 319, and then I have three other numbers, 688, and then I have four numbers, 1150. Now each group of these numbers have a specific job. That means they do something for us. Because you have to think about, there's lots and lots of people, and a lot of those people have phones. And when you pick up a phone and you try to call somebody, that phone needs to know who you need to get a hold of. So this first chunk of your phone number, the 319, is what we call the area code. Now you can see here I've taken this picture of Iowa, and this picture of Iowa shows you exactly where that area code 319. So now that phone doesn't have to look anywhere else except for, let me get a marker here so I can show you, that phone doesn't have to look anywhere else other than, you can see these lines that are kind of zigzagging over this spot right here that I am kind of outlining. That is actually all of the 319 spots. So that if you dialed 319 first, this is where that phone has to look. Now, the next part is after that the phone has found that this chunk 319 is where you're trying to go, the next part then is the next chunk of your phone number, which let me show you again. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. The next part again, so the 319, we found that chunk of Iowa that we need to be. The next part is 688. That tells you kind of the community or the location that you need to be in. So with this, you can see I've taken a picture, and you can see up here is North Liberty, as well as there's Coralville, and there's also Iowa City all the way down here. Okay, so there's Iowa City. So you can see now this 688 part tells us that in this giant square that I'm showing you, that's where the 688 number might be. So again, we've narrowed it down to the state of Iowa, to that chunk. Then we went to our community, and now that last part of the number, the 1150, takes you directly to that place that you need to be. So this in this occasion, it would be Penn Elementary. So that is, in a nutshell, how your telephone number works. I have one more example here that we can use to kind of get you to understand a little bit better about how that phone helps find people. So you can see here, this is the world. This is the United States that you see here. I'm going to type in the address of Penn Elementary. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you when I click search, this is going to zoom us all the way in to Penn Elementary. So this is kind of like a phone, how a phone would work. It has to locate the exact person that you want to call. So this is going to go ahead and it's going to zoom in so you can see that we're flying. Now here's the state of Iowa. Okay, here's the state of Iowa. You can see the outline. That red little place marker is where Penn Elementary is at. So we can keep flying in. You can see now you're starting to see there's Iowa City that's popping up. So if we keep going in, here's North Liberty, and if we keep going in even farther, eventually we'll get all the way to where you can see Penn Elementary. So you can see there's the baseball fields, there's our playground, here's our school. So again, that is an example of how you can use a phone number to locate where you're actually at. Now, to wrap this lesson up today, you're going to actually practice recording some important information. The other day you had some homework. This homework paper had you write down your actual home telephone number and an important contact number in case something happens. Now with that information, we're going to put it onto this paper, and you'll be doing this with the teacher. So if you have some questions, don't worry, we'll work on this together. The one part that you will do independently by yourself after we finish recording your information is that you'll get to practice writing the numbers 7 and 8, which is located on page 9 in your practice book. So just to review really quick, again, your phone number, there are 3 different parts. The 319 is what we call the area code. The first 3 digits are the area code, and that helps you locate a spot in a state. And then you have the next 3 numbers, 688, that would help you locate the community. And then the last 4 numbers tell you exactly where at in that community you're trying to go to. So again, that was Penn's number, so that's how that would work. So good luck on today's assignment.